Alright, hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Dorothy. I'm a professional astrologer, and you can find me on the web at nhastrologer.com. And I'm having a special, and I would like you to, this is what it is, go to my website and sign up for my newsletter that goes out twice a month. Has everything on it you would ever want to know about what I'm doing. And if you sign up, what I will be doing over the next few months is choosing 3 people every month for a free 20-minute astrology session with me, and this is a phone session. But if the response is huge, then I will pick 3 a week. So come to my website, join my subscription, and good luck. So today I want to talk about December and what's going on for December. So we have this major cardinal T-square going on. And so the beginning of this, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, and then the next little piece will be more specific to each zodiac sign, okay? So just listen in. You won't even know I'm doing it. I'm just going to cut and paste. So I want you to know we have between December 4th and December 10th, and that's the intense period. We can feel it a little bit on either side. We have Mars in the sign of Libra. Mars in Libra can be passive-aggressive. Our actions, we're looking for our actions to be controlled and balanced, but they typically don't feel controlled and balanced. That's why we're looking for that to happen. All right? Then we also have Mars making a square aspect to Pluto right around the 8th and 9th of December. And when Mars squares Pluto, this is obsession, and this is controlled power is what we would call it. But we're looking for action. Mars in Libra wants action. Pluto in Capricorn is looking for those deep-rooted changes, those deep-rooted transformational pieces. Now, I know we're in Sagittarius time of year, but it feels very Scorpio to me, because we do have some Scorpio stuff still lingering. So this means that whatever was going on and whatever is, transforming and coming up and out of us, like this, deep volcano, things are coming up and out, we can really feel it rumbling right now. Allow this healing process to happen. Allow this process to erupt. Because on December 10th, Mars will be in an opposition to Uranus, and that is quick, sudden shifts and changes. All right, so that's what we have. Mars and Uranus are in an opposition to each other, and then Pluto is, whatever direction, doesn't matter, is in a square to both of those. And Mars is the faster moving planet, so it's the one triggering everything. So that means we're seeking and searching for balance now that we've gone through some sort of deep and very deep transformation that has come from very much within and is coming up and out. All right? Allow this process to happen so you can heal. Deep things from the past will be coming up for all of this. So that's the hardest part of all of what's going on with this cardinal T-square. But when they're cardinal, that means it is about shifting and changing, and we're going to allow that to happen. Now, to finish off this general piece of what's going on in the middle of December, actually it's the first 10 days of December, we also have Mars is making a sextile to the Sun in Sag, and so the Sun in Sagittarius is making connections throughout this T-square, and they're positive connections. He's trining Uranus and a sextile to Mars, semi-sextiles to Pluto. So the Sun will help to put that silver lining and give us opportunities if we allow the transformation to happen that this T-square is asking of us. Because Mars, Uranus, and Pluto are the heavy hitters when they're together. It's like the mob coming through and making a change. It really is. Breathe, stay centered. If you practice yoga, it's just like, standing on one foot. You feel that straight, calm center no matter what's going on around you. Allow these shifts to come up and out. All right, so on December 4th to December 30th, we also have Venus in the sign of Scorpio. So it moves in there on December 4th. When Venus is in the sign of Scorpio once a year, usually about 3.5 weeks, we get to focus in on our love relationships and what is going on there, and also the things that we love. So let me address both of these, and then we'll get to the house that it is for you. So, love relationships, how we love, what we love. When it's in the sign of Scorpio, when Venus moves into Scorpio, she can become very obsessive and very passionate. That's a fun piece. Or jealous. Not so fun. We can feel there's something going on under the surface if we're not open and honest all the time. there is a period here where our relationships, our love relationship especially, is going through a deep transformation. There needs to be a look at what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on under the surface. And if you're feeling uneasy, excuse me, if you're feeling uneasy, then it's in a relationship, then it's time to address this, because transformation must happen. It will happen one way or another. It'd be good if you were to initiate it. Because if you're feeling obsessed or jealous or uneasy in a relationship, those are all based in fear. And we don't want that. That's not a healthy way to be in a relationship with anybody, especially ourselves. So work on that and go through that process in that internal check to see where your love relationship is, and then have the conversation if you need to. We have Mercury coming into Capricorn soon, and I'll get to that in a second, and that will help. But, so you can say also, well, I'm not in a love relationship, so how am I going to use this Venus in Scorpio? Well, the way you're going to use the Venus in Scorpio is through the things that you love, the things that mean stuff to you, you know, the things that you're passionate about. Usually it's how we create beauty, or the beauty we have around us, whether we love to decorate, we love to paint. My Taurus piece, I love to collect rocks. I got a ton of them over here. Someday I'll show you. You know, and so what do you do with that? You know, that Venus in Scorpio helps us to take our skills, our talents, and transform them into something else. So that, to me, it sounds like a hobby. So we take a hobby, something that we really love. Hobbies are things that we love to do. And if we choose at this point in time, we can actually take that and transform that into a stream of income. Because that's what that energy is all about. So take these energies and focus at it. And so it is in what house? Capricorn, so this goes on in your solar 11th house. And what does that mean? You know, the 11th house is the area of community and our friendships and the social things that we're interested in. And so I would suspect to see that, especially people of Capricorn rising, you know, how many of you guys are going to quit the social media, picture fits, and go off of Facebook, things like that. But those things are going through a transition and a change for you. And I know I mentioned your love relationships and how does that play out in the 11th house. And you know, it plays out more in the friendship as opposed to the love relationship. So focusing in on your friendships and the groups that you belong to and what you value in those groups. Or you might find a cause that is just really, you know, tripping your trigger and you're ready to go for it and you want to just devote yourself to a cause. So the transformation going on with all that Venus energy in your 11th house is really related to that. What your values are, what groups you want to align yourself with, what friendships you want to remain in your life because you love them, or you do, however that works for you. So that's what that transformation and that Venus moving through that sector in the sign of Scorpio is going to be all about for you guys, you Capricorns. Okay. I want to move on though, because on December 9th, Mercury moves into the sign of Capricorn. And when Mercury is in Capricorn, Mercury is all our communication skills, our traveling around the neighborhood, our siblings, our cousins. It's our, you know, local environment. And in Capricorn, this is your sign, so it's comfortable there. Well, you're comfortable with it there, but you're just used to it. Mercury in Capricorn is somebody who's very, seems like they're very wise or very focused. You know, they can be lighthearted in some ways, but when it comes to communicating, they're just very serious about it. It takes a little bit to make them laugh, you know, dry humor, you know. It's not easy to be like a butterfly when you have Mercury in Capricorn. It's much more easy just to be logical, practical, wise, the authority figure, studying, learning, knowing. All of this goes on in your first house, so your communication and your seriousness precedes you. People always see you as the authority figure, and people will come to you and talk to you a lot about they want advice. This is how the Capricorn will handle this, especially because it goes on in your first house. They're going to want advice. They're going to want you to instruct them, teach them, tell them what to do, because other people feel insecure, but they feel that you're secure. Doesn't matter if you are or not, it just feels like it. We also have a Pluto in Capricorn moving through that sector. It's been in that sector, your first house, for a long time, so you're already going through a major restructure of who you are anyways. for years now. And Mercury will come around once a year in conjunct Pluto, and it does on December 19th this year. It's also on the 20th. It makes a square aspect to Uranus in the chart. And both of those aspects, what's going on with all of that is just that, out of the blue, you're going to be all of a sudden come up with some type of realization on how, if you've been working on something, how something isn't correct, and you can make a shift and change. Or if you've been working and stuck on something, a brilliant idea can come through right on the 19th and the 20th. Brilliant idea can come through, and you'll be able to change something so you feel much more secure. That's what you want, Capricorn. You want to feel secure. On the 21st, of course, that's the winter solstice, and the sun's going to move into that sector as well, into your first house, gets out of the 12th, it starts its shift into the first house, and again, that will illuminate you. It's going to highlight the fact that you're focusing in on what your stability is all about, because now we have Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto in that sector. So you're really focusing in on how secure you are, what your job is like. Do I need to shift my work? First house isn't necessarily work, but Capricorn is. So we really want to shift that. Because what we got going on December 25th, that's Christmas Day, we have that full moon in the sign of Cancer. Christmas Eve, the moon's in Cancer as well. And that goes on in your solar 7th house, which is partnerships and relationships. So you have a full moon that, what am I working on for myself, but does that match what my family needs, what my spouse needs? And that's just the logical question, the hard question. But what I want you to think about too, with the moon in Cancer, the full moon in Cancer, by the way, the full moon, new moon forecasts are separate videos. Subscribe to this channel, you'll be informed when they get posted, okay? So you can come back and listen to those more in depth. That's December 11th and December 25th. So back to Christmas with the moon in Cancer. Really nice energy. We want to be home with our family is what we want. This is going to be very loving, caring. It's not always everybody's family, but this is how I dream it. How fun and cozy and everything that it happens to be. Whether we're just sitting on the couch with ourselves and our blanket and our hot chocolate or whatever we like to drink and watching a great movie, or if we're with 100 people. It's about feeling cared and nurtured for. And that's what we get with this Christmas, which is kind of a nice opportunity during Christmas. It's a nice change. Now we also have the moon conjunct Jupiter on the last day of the year, December 31st. And the conjunction of these guys, the reason I mention is because it's only a couple of degrees away from the eclipse, the new moon eclipse we had September 13th. You could have felt it around September 12th and 13th and around November 11th. All these time periods is when, the moon is moving through that degree where the eclipse was, and that's a sensitive spot in the zodiac for a number of months. And Jupiter's there. So on the last day of the year, we get to look at what we want to focus on. We should be taking, stock on what the year was about, what we want to take forward into 2016 and what we don't. It's easy to release and let go with this type of a thing. It's a waning moon. So the New Year's Eve and New Year's resolution shouldn't be about creating anything new. They should simply be, I want to let go of things and move them on. Let them come up. Recognize what it is. Like I've told the other videos, just I love you, goodbye, I love you, goodbye. Send these things off. The things that don't fit you and you don't want to drag into 2016. How much are you going to drag behind you? Capricorn, you guys tend to be, you hard on yourselves more than any of the other signs, because you want to be this business person, you want to be an authority figure, you want this, you want that. But on the inside, you're scared little kids. Not all of you, but some of you. So let's release those things, release those fears, and really step it up. All that energy in your first house would be great for you to truly feel strong and confident in yourself. And that's the whole point. I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you. Please come to my website and subscribe to my newsletter. I will enter your email into the competition for a free 20-minute session. All right? I will let you know since I'll have your email. All right, that's funny. All right, love you. Namaste. Blessings.